guest Monica yesterday. We had a panel up here. I find that voice actors all have widely varied stories about how they not only got into voice acting, but how they got into performing in general. What was it that nudged you into wanting to be on a stage, on a screen, behind a microphone? Were you doing plays growing up in school, community theater? What made you want to be a performer in the first place?
As a kid, I had a really bad speech impediment. So much so that I rarely spoke. I know that's surprising to think of now. I've pretty much been making up for lost time ever since. But I had a speech therapist for a number of years who had ties to the theater, and we found that if I could memorize lines or poetry and things like that, if I could speak from memory, that my speech impediment tended to resolve itself. So my teacher inspired me. She's like, you should go on stage. So I did it just because she had ties to the theater, so she knew it was a troupe that was auditioning for a children's play. So at 9 years old, I went on stage for the first time, and I fell in love with it, and I never looked back.
I started singing in choir in middle school, and that kind of just brought me into doing musical theater, and then regular theater. But I actually started backwards because most people will start with regular theater and go into musical theater. It's like an extra thing, but I almost exclusively did musicals, and that was how I got into this.
What were those early musicals that you were in? Take us back.
I was Gertrude McFuzz and Sue School the Musical at Miller Opera Theater in Houston. Thank you. It's a big one. I was Susie in a production of Lovely Bones at the Alley. I was actually in a show with Monica during the Rocky Horror Show. I was Janet whenever I ended up starting to get into voice acting.
Justin, what turned you into a performer? What dragged you into this world?
Oh, kicking and screaming. My parents were basically did a lot of local dinner theater and community theater. So I remember, well, I don't really remember, but when I was this tall,
You're told that you remember.
Right, it's how it was. It must be. I was bopping around the rehearsal room, so I've always been sort of keyed into that community a little bit. And then growing up, I don't know, I guess I got attracted to the spectacle of it all. It's really magical when you're so little to see these performances crop up live in front of you, and I just sort of navigated more into it. I got really into musical theater as well, and that was my real passion for a long time.
Cool. It's so neat to learn stuff about my friends. We don't ever talk about this kind of stuff, so it's so cool.
Learn things about your friends in public with an audience.
Why not? For me, to spare those of you that were here yesterday, but I basically wanted to be a ballerina when I was a kid, and I hurt my knee and had to have surgery, and that kind of ruins your career as a prima ballerina, even at 12. So I tried to figure out what I loved about performing on stage and in ballet, and I took that and went, ooh, theater, let's try that. You're in.
I only kind of lied because so much musical theater got brought up just now. I would feel remiss if I didn't ask a follow-up. So, if the cast of My Hero Academia were to drop themselves into a musical, what do you think would be the most fun musical theater show to do as a group? What do you think would really play with the dynamic that you guys have?
Not Les Mis.
No Day More, no.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by. Tsuyu.
Stars in that multitude.
We're just really thinking about this. She's like, this is a very
Chicago. I could see Chicago happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to really think of something that would have a lot of cast members in it, and I feel like Chicago.
Oh, Rent.
Yes.
Rent.
It can be really funny to do Best Little Whorehouse.
As long as Deku gets to be Marvin Zindler.
Justin, do you have a pick? Do you have one that you would throw yourselves into?
Let's all do Russian comic together. I don't know.
Hamilton. Let's just go Hamilton.
All right, you the fans, I put it to you. Do you have your questions ready? All right, who's the most enthusiastic? You've got to convince her, not me. I'm just, yeah, right there. Give it to Alize, she's got this. Give it to my friend, she's a plant. No, give it to, oh, wow. A literal fight almost broke out just now. This was...
but I think that hasn't done theater or may not have connections in that world.
So what advice would you give to somebody who wants to get into voice acting, who hasn't done, you said you haven't done much theater or training or anything like that? Monica, you talked a little bit about this yesterday, about just getting in there and doing stuff. What would you guide this aspiring actor to?
The three things that I always tell people are acting classes. Because there's a lingo. Like a lot of people think, oh, I don't need acting classes, I'm brilliant. But if I like throw out words like, what's a beat? What's a tactic? What is your motivation? If you don't know what those things are, then a lot of the directors are going to be like, let's find an actor. So make sure you take acting classes. I know we all constantly take acting classes just to learn new skills. Improvisation is huge, especially in anime, because sometimes we'll go in and let's say I'm working on Tsuyu, but then I finish early. They're going to walk me around to all the studios, and I'm going to go play a little boy, and I'm going to go play a grandma, and I'm going to go play a cat. So you have to be able to like come up with characters and the job you have. And I also say singing lessons. Like you just heard that we all come from like a musical theater background, basically. And taking singing lessons, it not only helps you learn how to breathe through the diaphragm, which is very important, but it also teaches you how to control your voice. So even for like stage actors and film actors, I always say, even if you think you can't carry a tune, like take some singing classes because you will learn some skills that are really important. What about you guys? I'm sure you've
We're all better singers than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah.
I'll add to, I think the reason Monica said that everything Monica says is true, and everything Monica says is always
It is true.
It's just a good life.
It's insurance.
But the thing about voice acting is that, in my opinion, and this comes from a lot of experience, it's the hardest kind of acting to make work. Because, like, look at it this way: when you're on stage or you're in front of a camera or something, there's a lot of things to kind of help you get in the moment, and get into character. As it were, you've got costumes, you're acting off other people, you've got sets. You have none of that. You are in an isolation chamber. You're not acting off of other actors unless they've been recorded before you. Because usually we're not together in a room recording. That's just not how this works. We record independently. And it's really hard. And also, when you have a script, especially when you're working on a dub, you don't get to study the script ahead of time. You are reading your lines for the first time when you're in the booth going, okay, that's what's happening today. Today I'm doing this. That's why improv is so important, because you're basically have to learn how to cold read in the moment. So you don't get to plan how you're going to perform it. There's no safety. And so you have to go in, and so if you don't have the experience of like being on stage or acting in front of people and developing these skills, then you can't make it real for yourself when you have all these things to help you, like costumes and other actors and sets. Man, there's no hope for you when there's nothing helping you make it real. Because it's all about making it true for yourself so that you can react rather than just BS your way through a line read. Because then the audience will react to it. And so if it's real for you, it'll be real for the audience. But how do you make it real for yourself when you're in the most artificial environment possible? So take acting classes and be on stage. A lot of people, and just to be real for a moment, I think a lot of people that aspire to be voice actors, I think have the acting itch and they want to be actors, but they're not comfortable with their bodies. They don't want to be in front of people and they don't know. It's like they want to be actors.
Worry about making a mistake.
They don't want to worry about what do I do with my hands, but like if starting in voice acting is the hardest thing. It's the reverse of what you should do, because you'll be in too deep and you're like, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to make this real, I don't know. It's so hard.
One little follow-up to what you were saying. In taking improv classes, can you go back to one of the early things that you learned that was really valuable for you as a performer early on from taking improv? One of the things that it opened up in your process for you?
I think one of the earliest things I learned, specifically taking improv, was that it's acting is reacting. And forgive me if I'm a little wordy about this, but I'm a big believer in, like, say, if you read a line on a page and you analyze it, let's say you've got a line that's like, I hate you, leave me alone. And you may read that and your mind goes, okay, I should be angry here, I should be angry. And so you decide, I'm going to be angry when I read that line. And so you make it a strategic choice to sound angry, but you're not actually angry. You're just sort of saying the line through a kind of approximation, and most people can hear that you're just pretending. No one pays good money to watch you pretend. They want to see you go through something. So the thing I love with improv is, like, you serve the text, always have the words. You can't just make things up on the fly unless you're given that freedom by the director, but you have to say the words, but whatever you say them through is what you're feeling in the moment. So when you have real moments, if you're present and you're reacting with the material, what you feel and how you say the line will reflect what the writer's intentions are. but it's not your job as the actor to broadcast the context of the story. The audience has all that already. Your job as the actor is to just be real in the moment and have an experience and say the words that you're supposed to say through an honest emotion, even if that emotion seems to contradict the words on the page. So if we go back to that line where I'm saying, you know, I hate you, leave me alone, and if I, intellectually, if I say I should be mad, and I'll say, I hate you, leave me alone, and it sounds fake, because you can tell I'm really mad. But if I have a moment in the booth, you know, or you know, if we're doing it on stage and something happens that just kind of makes me go, huh, and I just commit to that emotion and I say, I hate you, leave me alone. You all go, oh,
Dang.
you know,
Oh, dang, it's on.
It creates this depth that sucks you in. And I didn't even mean that. You know, I had a student in my class once that was doing a read of it was like a stroke awareness PSA. And she was playing the part of a woman whose husband had just passed away. It was very dramatic. And she wasn't really feeling it, so she tried to make herself sad, and it came out very performative. Oh, my husband, and it was all, it didn't even move any of us. And so I asked her, like, well, what's going on? And she's like, well, I'm not feeling it. I feel like obligated to be sad because that's clearly what the writer's intentions were. And I'm like, don't worry about the writer's intentions. The writer's intentions are there in the words. As long as the words get out there, the writer's served. What are you feeling right now? She's like, nothing. I'm like, cool, read through the nothing. So she just read it through nothing, and everyone was like, oh my God, she's so numb, she's so bereft. And it was real for them because she stuck with what she was actually feeling in the moment. And the hardest lesson we'll ever learn as an actor is to trust whatever that emotion is. And that's what improv is. That was a really long walk.
No, that was beautiful. Right? Look, you get a free acting workshop today.
I don't even think that's like, acting is included in the ticket price.
Acting with J. Michael Tatum. Next up, who we got? Yeah, give it. Oh, come on, give it. I'm trying to give it to my friend, the ringer in the audience. She keeps getting passed up. Go for it. What's your name?
I'm Veronica.
Let's hear it for Veronica, everybody. What you got?
So, I love all of you. What made you want to voice act in My Hero Academia in the first place?
What made you want to voice act? What got you into voice acting in the first place? I've heard.
Oh, I think you meant with My Hero, right?
Or with My Hero?
Like, what
Okay.
I love about My Hero is actually.
Yeah.
Well, I know for me, like, well, we all auditioned, and that's kind of rare these days with all the simul-dubs. We don't usually get to audition a whole lot anymore. Usually they just go, hey, I know what they can do, I'm gonna cast. So I think everybody got excited because it's like, oh, we get to audition again. Holy moly, this is so much fun. For me, I think that people, maybe you guys now, if you watch a lot of anime, you realize that we tend to use our own voices a lot. Like, just on a spectrum of higher or lower. So we don't get to do those weird kind of cartoony voices very often. So when I saw Tsuyu and I saw Mineta and their character design, I was like, those can be like crazy voices. I finally get to pull out all these crazy voices that I've never gotten to use. And so when I went in and they started talking like this, and Colleen Blinkenberg. So Colleen Blinkenberg's been a friend of mine for years, and she's like, I didn't know you could do that. And I was like, well, I didn't either, but here we are. But it's funny because Brina Valencia, who plays Mineta, and we were the last two people cast of the Class 1A because Colleen didn't know who she wanted to play which part. So there was a very strong chance that it could have been the opposite way, and I could have been Mineta and Brina could have been Tsuyu, but I lucked out. I went from best perv to best girl. What do you got?
What's the process like for you guys?
I
Just our Deku.
You just live a Deku life.
Exactly. Yeah, when we were auditioning the show, I did just a little bit of research. I looked at the first couple episodes of the show that were out. Maybe I read some of the comics just to get a grasp of some of these characters, do a little digging beforehand, and it seemed like something very special to me. It seemed like this kind of story wasn't being told very often, especially in this certain capacity, and how just the way that it champions folks to lift each other up and to cheer each other on and root for each other and like to share your emotional centers with each other. I just think that's really awesome, and I wanted to be a part of telling that story somehow.
I received an audition from Colleen with just this side for Cami. And she was like, I want you to read for this part. I think you'd be perfect for it. If you're not good for this one, I know there's other ones in the future, but go for it. I was actually at a con when I auditioned. Yeah, and I remember asking Monica, like, is it okay if I turn this in like later? Because I'm in a con and my hotel room sounds like crud. But I still did a hotel room audition and sent it in anyway. And it was, yeah, and that was how I got Cami.
I did a hotel room audition too. I had to build a pillow for it.
Yeah.
And like my little travel, like little crappy travel mic. I think everything Justin said is great. Like the show has such a good, strong message and a good emotional center. And it's such about the group dynamic and how all these. Ultimately it's about all these characters kind of finding their voice, their power through each other, which I think is a really good message and one that that resonates with me. But man, Tanya's embarrassing because it's just me.
It is so weird.
I'll be recording it and it's like the Japanese creators follow me around with a sketchbook. And just like, oh, he does that too. Because I'll be in the booth going, and Colleen will just be laughing. She's like, I've seen you do that in an airport. And I'll be like, stop it, that's not on, doing it now. It's validating because everyone's like, oh, we love Tanya. And I'm like,
That was a great question. I have a little follow-up, actually. You guys have done so many of these shows, you don't know which one's going to be like a monster hit. My hero, I think it's safe to say, is one of the monster hits, a monster hits better. Do each of you have a feeling about this one? You know, looking at it, you know, as what it represented before you actually started on the series, did you have a feeling about this maybe being one of the big ones?
I think everybody did. I think that Funimation was excited about it. I think that everybody that was a part of it was excited about it. And that first season, we were like, oh, this is going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. And then nobody watched it. So we were like, crap, you're off. And then suddenly everybody, I guess, got the memo. And season 2, everybody started watching it. And all of a sudden it went from 0 to 100. So I'm glad that people recognize it. Because it's such a great show. And the message is so awesome. But yeah, there was a lot of electricity at Funimation around the time.
The fact it got an audition alone was enough to be like, okay, this is something that they really care about. Yeah.
So next up, let's go right here. Right here. In the blonde wig. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
She just didn't want to give you the mic because you're Bakugo.
I just want to say, I'm gonna win. No, I'm joking. My question is, I'm actually going through a journey of learning how to love myself. So I was just wondering what your characters would do in order to love themselves, like a little ritual or I don't know, something they would do. Yeah. And I love you.
We live in an age of imposter syndrome, and you know, needing to believe in yourself a little bit more. You know, how would your characters guide all of us out there struggling with this kind of stuff?
I think Tanya and I, as a person, I think Tanya learns how to love himself through. And by which I mean he's not necessarily worried about what people think. He's worried about whether or not he's helping. And he doesn't really care. And you'll notice he doesn't really care how he looks. Clearly, because he's all over the map and he's doing this thing and he's always doing important things. But he will go out of his way, even putting himself out there to look like the jerk. Because he kind of comes on the very first episode, he comes off as a jerk. You're like, oh, this guy's gonna be that guy. But you turn, oh no, he's a good guy. He's the human sheepdog. You know, he just wants to make sure everyone's doing what they should be and that everyone's okay. And it stresses him out, really, if they're not. Again, an airport. But I think, you know, he's more concerned with living up to the example set by his brother. He's not so much worried about how I love myself. He's like, that is kind of a natural byproduct of loving other people and being out there directly. So, I mean, loving yourself is great, but I think it's one of those things, in my own personal experience, it's like chasing the end of the rainbow. You know, you're not gonna, if you look for it, you're not gonna find it. You have to love other people, and then you suddenly go, oh, I'm a decent person. Because I've helped other people. If you make it about other people instead of about yourself, I think it's the healthiest and the quickest way to self-love, in my opinion.
Cami hasn't really felt like herself lately. I don't really know how she would love herself, but I will say, reading the manga and a little bit more about her, something that I really admired about her was that she's a lot of affection for children, and I would say that I share that with her. And it made me kind of that same thing where it's like I think she's very confident in herself, especially the way she talks. She spreads positivity, and she's really bubbly and fun-loving character. But I would say, yeah, there's a lot of parts in the manga of her being affectionate towards children and just kind of including them. And I think that is a little bit of her like loving other people.
I was literally going to say that, yeah. I think there's a lot, it can't be understated, the power of sort of speaking things into the universe. It's so easy nowadays to, like, at the littlest mistake, you say, I'm such an idiot, I'm so stupid for doing that. So I think, for someone who went through what he went through, I think it would be very meaningful to every day say, I am a hero, I am good enough, I am enough to be present at this school, etc., etc. And, you don't necessarily even have to believe it all the way, but as long as you're saying it, you'll believe it a little bit more every time, and that'll be it.
I think with Tsuyu, one of the things that I really love about Tsuyu, and I identify with Tsuyu about, is she's weird. She's totally cool. She's like, I'm weird, and it's totally fine, and you guys better like it, because if you don't like it, well then, screw you, Bakugo, And that's kind of how I feel, like whenever people come to my table or whatever, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm weird. I'm like, don't be sorry, embrace your weird. Your weird is what makes you you. It's what makes you so creative and awesome. We're all weird, that's why we're all here. Like, we're all got our weirdness, right? So, I think that Tsuyu would embrace her weird. I can see Tsuyu getting up in the morning and then getting up and fixing her hair, because that takes a while with the bow in the back. Making sure her outfit, her hero outfit is clean and everything is tidy, and maybe looking at herself in the mirror and saying, you know what, I'm going to be the best hero someday. Someday I'm going to be the best hero out there, and I'm going to make sure, because this is very Tsuyu, I'm going to make sure that my friends are also the best heroes that they can be.
When you do it in that voice, it's just...
That's the best fan of all time. Next up, who do we got?
I see you, Cameron. I see you.
That's the real hero right now, is my runner.
Hello. Hi.
What's your name?
Haley.
Let's hear it for Haley.
I was wondering, besides the characters that you voiced, do you have a favorite?
Favorite character other than the one that you voiced?
Should we count to three? Sit this in 20. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Bakugo.
I'm offended.
Sorry, I mean Todoroki.
I was like, well, I thought we all agreed on this.
I just wanted to throw a curveball.
I love Deku, of course, but I love Todoroki.
Todoroki, yeah.
And you know what's so sad? David Matrenga, who plays Todoroki, has probably had the least amount of time in the booth, because Todoroki does not talk a whole lot. But I love him.
Such a great character.
Icy hot.
Next up, who we got? Pick somebody. Who's got kind of a vibe? Yeah, right there. What's your name?
Ian,
What do you want, Ian?
I want to know the most tear-wrenching episode you've ever voiced.
Couldn't hear you. One more time.
The most tear-wrenching voice.
Most
episode you've ever
heartrending, tear-wrenching episode that you've...
It's the stain arc in the alley.
I called it.
That was real for me. That was real. I cried. It's like, I gotta walk with you guys. This is bothering me. It's because I love my character. I love him, and I identify with him when he's making these choices. I'm like, why are you doing it? Don't make this choice. But I get it. I get what you're doing, but don't do this. When he says the words, I can't watch this, that one line, that was just me in the booth going, I can't watch this.
He doesn't have any tear-wrenching moments in this show. But if I was just talking about something that made me super depressed over the years lately, it would be Made in Abyss. That's I don't know if you guys have seen that. She's MIDI and I'm Nanachi. It's sad.
That's There's a fight in the summer camp, Deku versus Muscular. He's this big old beefy beefcake. Yeah, and that was particularly brutal because during that fight, he's just getting beat up miserably. And then there's a point where he basically makes peace with the fact that he's gonna die. And he's like, I'm sorry, Mom, I let you down. I'm gonna die right here. And I'm like,
I believe in you.
so after that episode, I had to be like, Colleen, thank you. I need to go stare at a wall for
Just stare into the distance
Yes.
for a good quarter of an hour.
Mine came on Tsunami recently, and I didn't know until I checked Twitter, and it was all pictures of crying Froppy, and I went, what? Oh, the episode aired tonight. So yeah, the dorm room episode, where Tsuyu gets really upset and tells her friends, like, she apologizes and how she's concerned. I like making people cry. It means that you guys love the character, so.
All right. Who's next? Oh, there we go. Pickle Rick already has the mic.
Oh, hey, there you are.
Hello. What do you got?
make y'all cry.
Huh?
I make y'all cry.
You
Oh,
like?
no.
Okay.
So I teach special education, and a couple of students I teach loves your show, and they introduce me to you, and it's like a connection we have. So it's like every day, it's like, okay, what episode are you on, or you're rewatching it. So like we have our moments where we talk about it. But the question is, what is y'all's favorite episode y'all ever voiced?
Favorite episode that you've ever voiced?
That was so sweet. Thank you for sharing that with us.
It's so hard to pick a favorite because, like, we just kind of live by these moments, you know. And so it's like, oh, that's my favorite episode, but it's like picking a favorite child. It's not easy.
If that's a little bit tough to chew on, maybe is there a particularly meaningful moment for you that you've seen that kind of thing?
There's so many of them. For Tenya, what comes to mind is one of my favorite moments is when he is on top of the exit sign trying to calm the crowd. Because it's a funny, cute moment, but it's like just a perfect summation of who and what he is.
Well, and you, really?
Yeah, and even
It's really the culmination of J. Michael Tatum. Let's be
it's
honest.
such a wonderful metaphor for him and his journey because, like, even the getting there, he's like, you know, he's imperfect, but he's gonna do it. And he's up there, and he's like, everyone, and his legs are shaking, and I'm like, this is so him. And it was such a beautiful moment, it's such brilliantly conceived. But then later, when you get to see him get really, really serious with the whole state thing and kind of understand, like, the only way to do right by his brother is to betray the ideals his brother instilled in him, that was rough. But it was a really meaningful moment seeing him learn that lesson. Because I think Tinya's arc is he has to learn to trust other people not to always need him, which is hard for him because he only knows how to mean something to other people if they need him. And they don't always need him, but he's got to, like, you know, he's definitely the mother hen, the sheepdog of the group. And makes him a little extra sometimes. But his journey is having to learn that, yeah, sometimes being a hero means stepping back and letting someone else be their own hero. Yeah, so, but that's the show is filled with those kind of moments. It's so great. What about you guys?
But Cami doesn't have as many moments so far in the show, but I would say her fight with Deku was pretty awesome sauce. So,
Have you, out of curiosity, since I know you've read ahead of the manga, are there things to come in the manga without spoiling things, I guess, that you're looking forward to knowingly that you know
Yes.
you're going to get to do?
Yeah, I
You
can't
picked
wait.
out, you cannot wait for.
Yeah, I want her to say that's not like I can't wait, actually. I've been waiting a really long time for that. So when that happens, it'll be really exciting.
The one I like to go back to is probably Deku versus Todoroki at the festival. You know, it's such a spectacle, it's such a feast for the senses to begin with. But just the theming of that episode I think is really beautiful. It encapsulates something that we all love about Deku, and I think the show at large, which is where you come from does not determine who you are and who you can be. So I just really love that. I love all these messages that we get to share with folks that are so uplifting and free.
For me, I'm gonna go back to that dorm room episode because I got to sub-direct for Colleen. She was out of town. So I actually got to direct a lot of that episode. And so for me, it was so cool because I got to direct Justin, I got to direct Tatum. I'm like, I get to see the characters from the other side now and actually have have these characters down so hardcore that my job is like, geez, Colleen is getting paid to do nothing. Like, these guys just open their mouths and the characters come out. It's like, well, can't get any better than that. So that's awesome. Let's go. But yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Next up. Yeah, right there. Yeah, how can we not? So speak up just a little.
So hold the mic really close. Don't be afraid.
Okay,
There you
my
go.
name is Sophia, and I was wondering how you feel about the ships.
You always get this, right? You always get this at least once. Front two rows are living for this, by the way.
We're adults, so we try not to ship teenagers. It's kind of a general rule.
Yep, good.
So
Good policy to
to you,
have.
that's great. I love that you're into it that much. That's awesome. But I'll leave the ships to you guys.
I mean, I like FedEx.
Yeah, but forget DHL. Like, it's FedEx or UPS.
FedEx is better than
Yeah,
UPS.
freighters. It's all good ships.
I think everybody wants to know New York.
Yes.
In Bakugo? Oh, Chaco?
I think, how do I say this? I'm always afraid to answer this because
Well, there are 1,000 reasons to be afraid of answering this.
I understand how these things get sort of weaponized in the fandom. So
It's official. Justin Briner has said.
if I were to say, right, exactly, if I were to say, I think that Alma and Prism Mike are meant to be. No. Like, true as that made me, true as that made us today. I don't want people to use that against anyone like Aizawa. I think that as long as your ship that you love is not predicated on any kind of abuse or like any nastiness, then I'm all for it. And I like to get to hear your opinions about how you've interpreted the text in different ways, because everyone has a different favorite character, so they are viewing all these stories from kind of different focal points. I just think it's super interesting.
Justin is way more diplomatic than I am. Tsuyu and Tokoyami. Only because, I mean, like, they're the animals and stuff. I think that they're cute. And also their personalities. Although I will say, and I said this yesterday, there's a piece of art, and if this artist is ever in an audience, please let yourself be known. There's a piece that is like the Princess and the Frog, but it's Tsuyu and Deku. And it's so cute, and they're so green together. But I think honestly, like, Tsuyu is so focused on being a hero and being a good hero that I think that if any guy or girl came up to her going, hey, what are you doing later? She'd be like, I'm gonna go train. Go away. I'm busy.
We steered out of as much trouble as we possibly could with that one. Okay, who's up? Who wants it the most? Who wants it the most? Peter, I trust you. Just hand him a mic. There we go.
So much praise. It's a shipping question.
Yeah, every.
Okay, so what Hogwarts house do you think each of your characters
Sort your characters into Hogwarts houses. That was the very fast Slytherin for me.
Hufflepuff.
Come on.
Deku's so Gryffindor.
I think Tsuyu too. I think Tsuyu is like full on Gryffindor. But I personally am Slytherin, so yay all the time.
I'm just little puff.
Yeah. Right over here. Yeah, just get it right up.
You just gotta get it right up in there. Don't be afraid of the mic. It's your friend.
Yeah, get it right up next to your mouth.
Yeah.
It's not. You know what? Hey, how's it going? What's your question? Differences between working in dubbing anime and shows that are natively in English that you've worked on. What are the big differences? You mentioned earlier recording solo a lot on dubs. When you do English language based stuff, do you actually get to do any group recording?
Sometimes it's stuff that's done and then you get to. There's two kinds of animals in this business. There's dubbing, which is what we do a lot at Funimation, and there's pre-lay, which is where you have a script and some storyboards, and then usually a group of actors will get together and do a scene or the whole episode, depending on how it's written, and then the animators animate to the performances generally. And that's really freeing. That's typically what's done for video games. You come in and they kind of animate to your performance. But dubbing is harder because the animation is already there, and so in addition to recording in isolation solo, getting to only play off of other people's recordings if they've already recorded, is you also have to match the timing of the mouth movements, what we in the business call flaps. And so it's a whole other layer of difficulty in dubbing because you feel a moment and you have this line and there's the time to say it.
You have time for 3 syllables.
It's another reason why musicality is so important, or at least some experience with it, because timing is of the essence. You have to learn how do I say that? How do I feel that emotion and get it out there, but make sure it fits the flaps in a way that doesn't make it look ridiculous, because we have to fit the flaps. That's a must. So it's in some ways the first time I did a pre-lay, I was really freeing, but also disorienting because I didn't have anything to go off on. They're like, yeah, just go for it. And I'm recording it back and going, I guess I get
to pick my own time.
It was weird that I was so used to going by the animation on the screen and kind of getting swept up in the energy of the visuals and the music and the previews that we're seeing in the Japanese that it helps guide the performance. And without that, it was almost like having too much freedom. I was like, I don't know, I'm not trusting in my choices. So it's a very different style, and both have their own challenges. I couldn't pick which one I'd like to record. It depends on the content. It depends on the content, really.
A clown just walked by. Who's up next? Whoa, boy.
I got the last live mic, so I will be taking candy.
There we go. Okay, so
anybody have candy? I will take candy.
Yeah, he'll take bribes.
Hello. I don't know how far ahead you in the manga, but are any of you looking forward to when Gentle Criminal and La Brava?
Whoa, hold on. Sounds like we're jumping into spoiler territory. Who's read ahead? Are we okay jumping ahead in the manga?
Let's dive into it. Yes.
I don't think we should.
Are they looking forward to big stuff coming up? Is that safe?
Yes.
Such as?
We are looking forward to stuff.
Starting in October.
Is there a particular, kind of stuff that you're getting to play that you're really looking forward to that people have not seen yet, people who haven't read ahead, don't know is coming? Something that's really a fun acting challenge for you.
I will say, it's not about me or my performance, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Sir Iida.
I bet you are.
Because he's my fiance. There's a ship for you. It's like, what just happened? What? Wait, what? I'm seriously.
Hold on, I need to get on Anime News right now.
Yeah, I read the manga. I was definitely blindsided when Deku died, but I'm waiting to see how that all pans out.
It's a joke.
Who would have thought Froggy was a Titan? Did not see that.
She was Droopy Titan all along.
Froggy was the Frog Titan. How do we not see that?
No.
I'm looking forward to the possibility of more screen time.
All right, we steered out of spoiler zone just in time. All right, who's next?
I'm up high, because the audience members are getting all the way up here.
Way up high.
I know you guys got the nosebleeds, so here we go.
All the way back.
Hi. First of all, my brother loves you guys so much.
She's like,
Why is he not here?
Well, I do too. What would you say is the most character-defining moment that you guys have done so far?
the state arc, and again with the whole exit sign speech, that's 10 minutes of the team.
Oh, there's a part where they are saying that the kids have to go live in dorm rooms, and the teachers are going around to everyone's parents being like, hey, this is sort of the deal now, take it or leave it. And Deku's mom says, no, I don't think I want you to do that. A lot of broken bones, a lot of, emotional distress. And he basically, he's feeling emotional about it, but what the resolution he comes to is, all right, if that's how it's going to be, fine, but I'm still going to follow my goals and be a hero. And that's just unabashedly Deku.
I think for Tsuyu, the moment that I really felt like I knew who she was very early on in the first season when Deku, Mineta, and Tsuyu are doing the villains kind of take over and we have to fight them. And so watching the interactions and Deku and Tsuyu are working so well together, and then Mineta's over there like freaking out, of course. And Tsuyu's having to carry him around like, oh, stop being such a pervert, everything's gonna be okay. And like, so she's settling him down and working with him, and it's like, oh wow, she can do it all. I love it. She does.
Cami hasn't had it yet. She will. She'll have her character defining moment in the future. And if you haven't seen it all, you'll know why very soon.
Who's next? Who's next? He's all the way up there.
Hello. That one scene, this is mostly for Justin and Jamie Tatum. That one episode where y'all have disguises. Like comprehend like how to sound and like with the different what to do.
How do you act a different look?
Oh man, with Tenya it's easy. I'm just like looking at that and going, this is exactly how I would sound. It's just Tenya just being like, I'm gonna do, and I had some experience because of the episode where Tenya like plays the villain during the exercises. It's like, I'm going to be you. Like, it's fun, like playing the character who's playing. It's so Inception. But like, I think there's a video of it you may have seen where like I reacted like they video that's like reacting to our characters in disguise, and I was like, I look like the bad guy from Annie. This is awesome. It was like, you can't do a Boston accent. Why not?
Let a guy do an accent.
Deku just looked so weird and funky to begin with that I was like, basically Colleen and I just said, well, try anything. And so we got what we got.
Next up. I'm right here, so I'm just gonna come over here. What's your name?
I hope this is good.
What's your name?
My name is Beth.
Okay, Beth, let's hear it for Beth, everybody. She's been waiting for this moment for a while.
This
What do
is
you got?
Beth's moment.
They forgot.
I think it was who do you ship Bakugo with?
Whoa. We already had the ship question. I guess we know why you guys watch the show.
I ship Bakugo and Therapy.
That's the answer of the day. Yes. Ship Bakugo with anger management.
Okay, we are running short of time, they're telling you. We've got time for maybe two. One, maybe two. Ooh, this guy in the Superman really wants this.
Hi, my name is Tyler.
Hi, Tyler.
Tyler has notes. He came
Tyler
prepared.
has notes. Oh my god. I'm nervous now.
Voice recovery technique for the yelling and overuse.
Oh, those particularly grinding days in the booth.
So it really starts with making sure you've warmed up adequately beforehand. A lot of damage can be prevented, I think, if you've taken the steps to warm up and hydrate and everything. If you do end up damaging something, don't talk, don't do anything that would dehydrate you further or hurt your voice more. Stay away from the usual suspects, any other...
Caffeine, dairy,
Yeah.
chocolate.
All the things we're doing right now, don't do.
Don't do what we're doing.
The only thing is water and sleep. Honestly, there's all kinds of stuff. There's like fart juice we used to use. We call it fart juice when we were in the theater, and it was if you lost your voice but you had to perform that day, and it was like apple cider vinegar, honey, and orange juice. There's things you can do, but really nothing works but sleep and water and voice. That's it.
I will say that I travel everywhere with a humidifier because, like, when you're in convention centers and hotels all day long, it's that recycled air and it dries everything out.
Yes.
So a humidifier, and then I have a steam machine, and they're awful. You guys have ever had to do those steam treatments where you have the little cup over? It's the worst. But if my voice is starting to go out on me, if I do that at night and in the morning, and then again right before I go in for my session, all of a sudden it's like clear as a bell. So.
There's a little trick you can do if you are in the middle of a session and you're screaming a lot and you have to scream more but your voice is about to go. It's the stir straw trick. You know this? You take
I just learned it.
these little coffee straws, tiny, and you basically put it through your mouth and you phonate through it as loud as you can, and it frees up the area for just a little while. It will free up the area of your vocal cords that are rubbing together. I do not recommend using it unless you absolutely have to, because you're still going to damage your vocal cords. Like everyone said, the only thing that will fix damaged vocal cords is rest. But a big note for all of you that go to cons: if you're screaming and having a lot of fun, you're using your voice. Your voice will crack. If your voice is going, do not whisper. It's worse for your voice than screaming. Just stop talking or carry around a pad and pen. But everyone's first instinct is to do this. That is putting so much, that's putting more stress on your vocal cords than screaming, because screaming you'll do a little burst, but you'll whisper for hours on end, and it's just as bad. But imagine screaming for 3 hours straight. That's what we're doing. So don't whisper. If your voice is going, just stop using it.
And also, you guys, if your throat starts to hurt, don't use chloroseptic or anything that's going to numb it, because that means that you can do more damage because you can't feel what's happening in it.
And menthol dries it out more. There's some things too, there's like Mucinex and allergy pills a lot of times, so it could be from that or something like that. You know, there's Advil. You can do things to take it down temporarily, but really in the end it's like chicken soup, water, and rest.
So we're short of time. I wish we could have gotten to everybody's question, but I've got something to wrap us up that I think will put a nice button on this. Every time I talk to voice actors, there are stories that you get from the fans. The fans are the whole reason that any of us are here, right? Let's hear it for the fans. Let's hear it for yourselves. Shows like My Hero get people through things. My friend was saying earlier, you know, watching the show is something that is part of embracing loving yourself. What have you gotten from the energy the fans have given you, coming up to you at tables at these many conventions, telling you things that you couldn't possibly fathom were happening on the other side of them, enjoying what you did on this side of the microphone?
And I have a lot of stories with that. I won't go into anything specifically, but it's really awesome. It's like, as an actor, you don't really know, like, what maybe 3 hours of work for you on a show can totally mean something to somebody. You know, you may get a chance to meet one day and you don't realize, God, I didn't know I did that. I didn't know that, you know, and it's not that I did anything. I just was lucky enough to play a character that meant something. So it's not us that make the characters awesome. The characters are already awesome. The characters make us someone you care about. So it's that, you know, but it's all about you guys, and that's what conventions are about for us, because if it weren't for you, I love this saying, it's not mine, but I use it all the time. Without you guys, we're just crazy people in padded rooms making funny voices. So thank you for giving what we do so much meaning.
Meeting you guys is the best part of the job. Period. That's it. It's the best part. It's the most rewarding part, and it's really humbling. It's like an honor. You know?
Yeah, of course, getting to do the work is fulfilling in its own sort of creative way. Like Ricky just said, getting to meet everyone and have conversations about what you like about the series, who your favorite characters are, and everything. It expands my understanding of the world, and it just makes me feel like, very humble, extremely humble. Just to know that, you know, what we have done has resonated so deeply with folks. It's really special.
I think we all recognize that we wouldn't be here if it weren't for you guys. So thank you so much for supporting us and supporting the show that we are so passionate about, and that you guys are obviously so passionate about. But one thing that I really love about My Hero, and it happens with Dragon Ball, I'm getting all the plugs, yo. It happens with Dragon Ball, but even more so with My Hero, is the family aspect. I see whole families where the dad and the children and even the little babies are cosplaying Tsuyu, and they're all into it, and they're all watching it together. And just the thought that something that we did in a booth, you know, months and months and months ago, is bringing families together, and parents that have never watched anime are spending time with their kids and learning about something that they enjoy. Like, I think that's a really special thing.
Thank you guys for coming out and doing these shows and seeing the fans. gone to see them yet, go see them. If you've already seen them, go see them a second time. Even better, the second time, the first second time you go and see them. Let's hear it one more time for our panel. Just